Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Weekly Recruit. I am your host, Crash, joined by my co-host, Gillionayre. Bun and Rye are still MIA at this time. However, we do have some guests and some replacement hosts. Barefooter, captain of Party Animals, who got their first win tonight. We've got Barefooter joining us on the mic. Oh, my. Everybody knows it by now. Let's be real. Huntwick and Recon, both on the UPS squad tonight. Recon, the premier player, and Huntwick, one of our best recruits. Definitely going in the Recruit Hall of Fame. Probably going to be on the first ballot as well. Welcome, gentlemen. How are we feeling?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah. That's what we like to hear.
You come out, you show up, you win, you get on TWR. It's pretty easy, you know?
It is pretty easy. You know, if you're wondering why everything looks awful right now, it's because Bun has abandoned us. He is currently MIA. We do not know his whereabouts. If you do see him, please call 911. Thank you. Anyway, on to more important...
Oh, yeah, by the way, is the stream actually working? I can't tell.
Yeah, it is. I just pulled it up on my phone. I'm about to paste the link in announcements. We are rocking and rolling. All right.
Fuck yeah.
So... first things first, we had a lot of games take place tonight. Gil, what's the first one we got on the chopping block?
Hold on 1 second before we get into this. I got some questions for Mr. Recon crossover.
We got some questions for Recon Cross.
So, you know, the word on the street, on the block, you know, some might say, you were up there playing in a goddamn premiere match. Tell us about your experience coming back down here to piss low with the rest of us.
Well, it's a very noticeable difference. In Premiere, they ripped my head off all the time. It was so like demotivating. But then I feel like I have a chance in Recruit when I take any fight, which is good.
That's what your numbers lead me to believe. That's for sure. Like, how did that?
He got a little of his own medicine, is what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Like,
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm surprised
You
that
actually
your
did
GM was
play-
like, Premiere, let's go down and see who's available on the recruit team.
I'd like to point out real fast that I was the only numbers tattle on Recon.
No, you
Okay,
weren't.
so
No,
trust
you
me,
weren't.
it was checked. Enders did it.
Definitely submit one.
He just did one. I did one during combines.
Oh,
my
did
my
you?
GM checked because he's also in that level, and he's like, he had one numbers tattle, and yes, it was me.
Fair
I've been
enough.
playing
Everyone
with
just wants to be Recon. It's okay.
I've been playing with Recon since the jump. Like him, great player. Only place he can go is up. You know, for his age, for his skill level, you know, he's not going to be in our beautiful rank of recruit for long, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Congratulations on having some fun up there.
Yeah, dude, you were
Thank you.
talking about him like pre-draft, like, yo, I'm trying to pick this guy up on the low.
Absolutely.
Barefooter said it first, dude. You gotta give him credit.
I was watching that game in the booth, and it was something special. Somebody is hitting the pen, and it is very loud.
This time.
It wasn't Gil this time. That only leaves one other option.
It was a celebratory hit of the pen. My apologies.
You know, you've had a celebratory shot. You've had a celebratory hit of the pen. You're going to start lining up nose candy with your credit card now? Like, what happens next? I'm confused.
A little bit
Hey,
of
man.
sugar, one time for the one time.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
One
of
for
you
the
guys
money,
have had
two for the show, right?
I don't know how many of you guys have had a season like ours where you're just behind the eight ball and
Yeah. I've been fortunate.
Trust
losing
me.
players left and right.
Yeah,
I've played in 12 full-time seasons, and I have exactly one playoff win. So that could tell you just about how painful my CSC career has been.
Yeah.
What is that
done
with teams? What is it though with teams losing so many players?
I thought you guys were just like not gonna be good, but then like I looked at like the circumstances you've been dealing with as a team with all the dropouts and shit like that, and it's like, yeah, that's just a terrible situation to be in.
Yeah.
It's not like the fucking whole team's trash.
Gil, turn your mic up. Gil, turn your mic up. That's all I'm
Lance
saying.
has come in
Just
to
turn your mic
let
up,
us
Gil.
know. Thank you, Lance.
How we
All right,
doing?
so Lance
better?
delivering that message.
All
There
right,
we
sorry about
go.
that. Thank you.
All right, on to more important things. Gil, first game that we're going over tonight.
First
What is
game
it?
of the game. By the way, this is what the stream's looking like tonight. It's botched, but at least it's happening.
True.
First game. We go to what I would have considered an upset going into today. I know we picked AG in the predictions, but Greenhouse taking him down 13-7. convincing. Not a stomp, but convincing.
And they needed that. Their
Yeah,
season
for real.
needed that because now they're up to what, 4-4?
Yeah, they're 4-4.
Postseason is back in the conversation for Greenhouse. They've looked like a much stronger roster in these past few days. I'm excited to see what comes out of them in the future. Just taking a quick look at the scoreboard, they've got an old friend on their team. Valid, substituting for them, was the only person in the server with single-digit deaths, 90 ADR, 16-10, 16-9. And then Nurse having a very good game as well at 20-13. Not to take away from Elixir 66's performance, 17-15, 7 assists, 82 ADR, 3-1 on first kill and first death. So obviously, I think it definitely came down to. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see there are 4 whole diffuse wins on the CT side for both halves, right? So I think a lot of this just comes down to shooting the bad guy, and I think that Greenhouse have proved that they can shoot the bad guy better, at least on Vertigo.
Galt did not have a game. They almost got him 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been performing phenomenally this season.
I agree.
Saltbrokey.
Oh, Saltbrokey?
And Saltbrokey
Yeah,
too.
for real.
I also want to note, just looking at Greenhouse's cast, they're all within like the 75 range, and then just Nurse, 6 enemies flash, 260 utility damage, 122 rating. He had a very good game.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Dude,
Without Budweiser
I
Crankers, they're
respect
fifth,
that
right?
guy. Yeah, I think so. No, wait, I'm not sure.
So yeah, I think
we can,
so.
we
Then
can all
Valid-
look together.
I think
Who
that
wasn't
a
there?
lot of this, I think actually now that Recon Cross has pointed that out, I think the cast kind of tells the story of this game. I think that we've seen all good does have a weakness, and their weakness is that they need big plays from Saltbrokey and Alk, and when they don't get them, the team is not as good as they are in games where they're able to be on fire. Because if you take a look at the cast, right, what this says is that Saltbrokey and Alk are away from their teammates a lot of the time, right? So they're counting on big plays from their superstars, but they're not putting themselves in a position to be tradable or to at least be able to get up enough damage to maybe get an assist or things like that. So I think that might tell the story of this game, is that they needed big plays from their superstars and just didn't get them, and as a result could not take it across the line.
Well,
I mean, look at the
Kuster,
second half.
I would say Kuster's probably one of the most improved recruits season to season. And it shows game in and game out. He's been very consistent, and I think he was cut early last season, and I played a lot of combines with him. I actually tried to sign him and was shot down. I honestly think one of the big pieces is his consistency this season and his ability to frag and hold the angles.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they're not having their bomb plays from Elk and Saltbrokey this game, but I mean, all the other pieces seem to be doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. It's fun.
Look at the second half, though. I mean, it looks like there's just strong executes. Maybe Saltbrokey and Alk were just on the opposite site, and the rotates weren't there. Strong T side. Strong T side there.
And the 2 rounds that they lost, too, they also got plant. So,
So
they're
maybe
getting
rotates
on
weren't
the
there.
sites. They're getting on the sites or killing them before they have to. Yeah, it's good shit. Just solid play. For real. Well, good shit to Greenhouse. Nice upset. Definitely in the playoff talks now. After a slow start. AG still in the playoff talks for sure with 5. I think they might be guaranteed already. But that could turn
I don't
around.
know. It will depend. It will definitely depend. We'll just have to see. Moving on, OS versus ATL. And
Yes.
I really wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not.
Yeah, Lance doing Lance things.
Yeah.
The Ginge 15-6. What the hell?
Buns,
Keep this though, 33 enemies flashed.
Yeah.
What a
That
CT.
man,
Yeah,
that
this
man
is
is
just
insane.
This is just dominant. They
Yeah.
win pistol. They save round 2 and then they just fucking go on 9 straight.
Yeah, just give Ginge all the utility and tell Lance to go kill people seems to be a winning strategy for him so far. Bun at 7-15, Twist at 8-14, Draco at 6-14. Ay, that is rough.
This is like the map they've played the most this season too. ATL.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is
We'll have to
definitely.
factor
Yeah.
Mirage is the most played map. like
Definitely my losing blowout of the week for sure.
ATL probably picked the map, and then Yoshi picked the side.
I would imagine.
Probably.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
That's such a strong CT. I
If
don't know if that's just
smarter, I would know how
ATL
to check,
struggling
but
to execute.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's just dominant. They only got
Only
one
one
plant.
plant.
One plant on the round that they lost. Yeah. Just lockdown defense, man. Dude, the Ginge turned out to be such a fucking good support player.
Well, and it
He's
wasn't
so
even like
good.
a first kill. It wasn't even like they came in and just fragged out. Because, I mean, Bun's got more first kills.
Yeah, Bun doing a good job on the entry, but
Yeah.
couldn't get anything rolling. I mean, there's no damage on that team.
Couldn't get a clutch on Mirage. Couldn't show up for TWR. Just, he's having a night.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. He's got shit to do. And that's fine.
The one time I'm finally hosting, and now
Yeah.
he's not here. Can't
Dude,
even glaze him.
I wonder if they're making Lax a fucking entry. Cause
You think so?
Yeah, he's 2 first kills, 5 first deaths, and I'll be honest, if that's the way that they want to use Lax, I think that's a waste of talent.
Well,
It
yeah,
is.
another thing to
He's
take
just
into
a strong
consideration.
like rifle, but I don't think he's an entry.
It
I
is,
think-
but I think Lance has benefited by getting info. Playing
Well,
with
not only
Lance
that,
as much.
one thing
But-
we have to keep in mind is that a majority of this game was played on the CT side, right? There were 5 rounds of T side, right? So I don't think it's necessarily just like, even if Lance or Lax goes in and dies first, all 4 of those rounds, he still has a first death on CT side. So I think it's just more so they were hitting his sight rather than him being the entry. I think Lance is still the entry.
Pets said Lance double op is actually gross.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
What is going on?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing
What
about
are they
blowouts,
cooking?
man. You always have to watch the tape because, like, the score really doesn't tell you how the blowout happened. Like, they can happen in so many numerous ways, and I think that, overall, OS was just more unprepared than ATL tonight.
This is
Lax
one of
was not an
Chronic's-
entry. Lax was not an entry. He was losing the mid window fight.
Ouch.
This is one of Chronic's
Happens.
worst games in recent time too, if I remember correctly. He's been fragging pretty well for him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, ATL.
I'm guessing looking at that, that's like the anchor.
But that the result of that game is not very surprising, but the result of our next game certainly is surprising. Party Animals take down ABW 13-11. It took 24 rounds on Nuke, but they finally did it. The first win of the season, and Balls having a 1.33 rating, QSay having a 1.07, 19-21, 24-11. I mean, these guys went absolutely insane. Barefooter, what the hell did you juice your guys up on tonight?
Well, to be honest, we've had, for lack of a better term, a revolving door of players for the last couple weeks. And mentals were scuffed. So we had our second practice ever on Monday. And we spent some time just talking about, expectations and who's doing what and how we can support people better. Got our AGM and GM involved, pumping up some of our players, going over some 2Ds. Just, putting in some of the work that wasn't just getting in and getting frags. And I think it paid dividends. Nuke is our favorite map as puggers, but we never got a chance to play it until we played Cow. It's a very technical map, and we made a lot of technical mistakes, and I think that's why it was as close of a game as it was.
Yeah.
But I think people were very comfortable because it is a map they like. So Boss came in clutch multiple times. Q had some great plays. Trout, being a sub, came in not knowing anything about us and had a couple of clutch rounds for us. Overall, there was a couple of times we caught him juggling on T side specifically when we were pushing him, and we're able to get some early entry frags and really kind of make them scramble. I really like ABW as a franchise. There's a lot of really good players over there. I pug with Freeze and Slayer a lot. Really good players, really good mentals.
Yeah, good dudes.
It felt good to get this win. It was definitely
Yeah, for
something.
real. You should.
Can you tell us about those last 4 rounds? How did those rounds go down?
Oh yeah, you guys were down fucking 11
Nine.
9.
Yeah,
I mean, 3 diffuses. That's crazy right there.
yeah. It really came down to in all honesty, we were really slow to rotate early on CT, and that's why you see a lot more frags and bomb detonations there. Our rotations picked up speed a little bit. People started having a little more confidence in one another's calls. Because again, when your roster's rotating constantly, there's, do I trust this person? Do I trust this call? And people started getting a little bit more confident. And hey, if they say this is what's happening, that's what's happening. And the proof was in the end. People started moving when people were told to move, and came in real clutch at the end there. Boss had some great plays. Couple of 2v1s, a 3v1 if I'm not mistaken. Q had a couple of great op rounds that just set everyone else up for the rest of that round. But at the end of the day, it just came down to trust, and that's something we've struggled with, because we started losing players in the preseason. So like, we thought we had certain components locked in, and we had a player say, "I don't want to play anymore." It's like, oh. So now I, got to pick up somebody else. Boss was a great pickup for us. I'm looking forward to at least another season with him. Q has been streaky at best for us, but when he is confident, he is scary good. And this was one of those games where he came in with his feathers, puffed up and feeling good, and it showed. LD, not to count him out at all, 100 MMR player. Dropping 17 for us, which is, say what you want. Our previous 100 MMR player, I think, was the only other tier breaker that I would speak to, was Jujiro, and he's had some family issues, so we had to put him on IR, but LD has come in clutch for us on multiple plays and shown that 100 MMR doesn't mean you're out and recruit at all. Trout reached out to me, I think at 3 p.m. when I sent out my call, because we needed to replace Saber, because Saber is now out. His work schedule is now conflicted, so we're having to cut Saber, who was a huge part of our franchise to date. We're actually looking to sign Amped now that the PFA to FA conversions have happened.
Ooh, I like that signing. That's a good idea.
So I think anybody who counted us out is going to be sorely mistaken for the rest of this season, because I think we're picking up a huge piece. And not to mention, his mentals. Winning or losing, Amped is always really chill. Boss is the same way. So getting these players that have these very unshakable mentalities, I really believe, like, even if we're down 3-4 rounds, don't count us out, because these guys wake up and it's scary when they start doing it. I love being able to play a game. They're like, "Bear, you're damn near the bottom of the scoreboard. What happened?" I was like, "We're winning. I don't care." Like, keep doing what we're doing. The
vibes are up.
Yeah, the energy's good. Like, you would think at this point we'd be shook, but I think because we've had this opportunity to make some changes, we're able to bring in some positive energy. Amped has done some practicing with us. Everybody on the franchise likes him. So I would be very afraid for the rest of this season. I wouldn't have put us at Dark Horse until this PFA to FA conversion, but I would now. I really think we're going to get a playoff win and be in there and giving people a run for their money. So
yeah,
can't wait for that.
Absolutely. I believe you. It's not impossible, dude. You're in a spot like, you got to win out, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you do need a couple of other teams to lose out, I believe. So yeah. I don't believe your team is in control of its own destiny, but
there's only one thing you can do, and then you can just hope.
Right.
And I believe
you can control and just go forward from there. You know the enemy, you know yourself. You need not fear the result of 1,000 battles. So
we still got an HR reschedule to do. And it's my understanding HR is imploding at the moment. So
yeah, I don't even want to touch that. They beat DRG tonight, so I don't know what that says about DRG, but I think it just confirms my...
roster, so I think they played with 3 subs, but we'll get to that.
Yeah,
so we got an HR reschedule, which I would love to see a win out of that. And, the rest of the franchises we have to face have had great seasons so far, but, we haven't lost a game. I think our last loss was last Thursday, and it was our worst loss yet, but that was also in the middle of all of our losing our third player. So we got our mentals back over the weekend, and guys came in swinging Monday, and we're practicing and trying, and everybody had a pretty good attitude today. And at the end of the day, I think that takes people a lot further than they want to give it credit for. Like if you come in with positive vibes, you know, and not get shook just because we're losing. Well, you can't win them all. So.
Moving on to our next game, DRG versus High Rollers. High Rollers take it 13-8. Again, I think High Rollers kind of got bailed out by a lot of the talent that they had. Firehawk, Amped, Blind, all coming in. Firehawk, Amped, and Atrax, I believe, were all subs tonight. So, and two of those subs dropping a 1.2 rating. You know, sometimes you just get bailed out by the high-end talent. I think that's what happened tonight.
Let me see here. Yeah, Amped coming in clutch. Firehawk is like the PFA of the season. So,
Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure. For sure.
Amped also.
Well, Amped and Firehawk converting to FA, so they're going to get picked up here very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Atrax FA?
Atrax is a PFA, yes.
PFA.
Yep.
Word.
And he's staying PFA, correct? He was not part of the conversions.
I
do not believe so.
Look at Atrax, the entry for High Rollers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. I'm just going to assume off the stats.
I mean, you better hope that's because that's what it is. Otherwise, we're going to have some serious talking to do.
He did his job. That's what I mean. I think that's what it is.
If he was the entry, he did his job, but we don't know that for sure. But yeah, I think High Rollers getting very much bailed out by some star subs tonight. I think if those guys are not there and it's all 5 of the regular players, I think this turns out at least a little bit differently. All things considered, you know, still a win for High Rollers. They still did a good job, beat DRG. For DRG, man, that's just, man, that's, I mean, it really can't get much worse than that, I don't think. I mean, that's just rough, you know.
What was the map? Ancient?
I believe so, yes.
It was Ancient, yes.
So, the recruit map of the season?
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, Amped had one bad game as a sub early, and they did a numbers adjustment on all the PFA to FA conversions, and that did make me giggle quite significantly because they dropped him from like 264 down to like 160 something or 180 something. And I was like, ooh. So we're getting him for a song, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
We'll just have to see, though. Again, not much really to say about this game other than.
I mean, they might see each other again in the playoffs if they make it. They're both 11 and 12 on that playoff line, so.
11th and 12th overall. Yeah,
So we could see this matchup again. We could, yeah.
Yeah, season is definitely not over for either of these teams yet, but it is just, I don't know, it's rough to talk about these guys at the current moment. Moving on, Deadbeats versus Cow. Deadbeats takes this one 13-5. I don't think anyone's surprised by this. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. So just a solid game from the fellas, dude. 4 score. Fucking... The game of the season from him so far, dude. He played so fucking good.
103 ADR, 17, 7, and 7. I mean, he was just seeing sevens all across the board. 89 cast, 1.22 impact, 172 utility damage.
Another
0
7.
enemies flashed.
It's fine. He didn't have to.
mean,
dude, a lot of our rounds, like we started down a few times on T side, and then like 4 score just took the round into his own hands. Like it felt like we obviously wasn't the call, but the calls felt like 4 score go kill at some points tonight, dude. He played so good, and you know, 9 rounds on T side nuke is huge. So we felt good off the rip.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it was just solid, dude. Everybody
Hell
had
yeah.
good games. Dr. Fier was playing more support. That's why he didn't do as much. He was like throwing our outside smokes and shit, and you know, executing A and doing
Well, a lot of nuke
all
games.
that hard work and calling. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of new games tonight, right? Or is
I
it
think
just 2?
so. That was one. That was okay. It's only been 2,
yeah,
but
only-
still, that's the most.
Yeah, that's
At least
a
I
lot for recruit. 2 in
Yeah.
a night. I fucking love nuke. Yeah.
Nuke is a very good map. I think a lot of people get it very wrong. Y'all would have loved it on FRG back in the day. Nuke used to be their little playground. You never picked Nuke into FRG, man. That was a long time ago, though. Well, I don't want to say a long time ago. That's still pretty recent. It's been about a year now, though, year-ish, somewhere around that time period.
Teams change all the time.
Yeah, I mean, again, not really a whole lot to say about this. Going into the Cow conversation, that puts them at 1-7. Ay. That means they are probably most likely mathematically eliminated from the. I think they're mathematically eliminated from postseason. So at this point, I think all they can really do is just regroup and try and, I don't know, maybe make something happen. Average rating of 0.91, average ADR of 71. That's rough, you know. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say.
Just, I mean, being a past Cow, Nuke's never been the luckiest map for Cow. So
they beat us. They beat us.
Yeah,
they did. They sure did. They went for it. That's all that matters. But yeah, that's really all that can be said about that. Moving on, Upsetty Spaghetti versus Headhunters Guild,
Let's
and
go.
you talk about a beatdown. Oh my goodness, HG, which was looking like one of the stronger teams a week ago, has been put into their place and quite violently.
But what are they
Vertigo.
missing? What are they missing?
What are they missing?
They're missing Next Muffin.
They
Their
are
IGL
missing
team
Next
captain.
Pirate dropping a 0.53. 5 and 15.
and
That
being kicked.
is
My
that
legal
is-
counsel told me to not speak on that subject. But
He got kicked for what, in game chat or something?
Well,
I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about it.
I don't know. I want
Well,
to
this
talk
He
is
said
about it.
it-
affiliated.
He said some things in chat that were ban worthy, and it was taken care of.
yeah, honestly, I'm just going to be the first guy to say it. I have no idea what causes this guy to talk to people the way that he does and act the way that he does. He does not put up the good enough numbers to act like that.
This was not his first time.
Really
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, like 5 and 15, 5 and 15, and you're going to go off on somebody in chat like that is borderline insanity.
A minor
Right,
too.
so
by the way.
that is-
I know. I spoke very highly of Kuster, but I'd say the other major improvement in recruit was Next Muffin. He got himself some better internet, and it improved his game. Not to mention, he's been working with coaches. He's been paying to be coached by non-CSE affiliated people, and him being in the field because he's active duty military. I think that hurt his team big time. Not having their IGL, not having their captain, not having that core
tough.
piece.
Yeah, I remember when I played, whenever I was unavailable, it definitely hurt the team. They would have to have a sub every other week. It was really, really rough, so I can only imagine what that does to HG. And as a result, they did not look like themselves tonight. UPS Recon Cross topping the board, 20 and 10 after the premier experience, 117 ADR. I mean, can we even act surprised? 1.54 rating.
Yeah, talk your shit.
Earbreaker.
Talk your shit.
Earbreaker.
Does he get the
things.
sledgehammer tonight? Does he get the sledgehammer tonight? Does he get the MVP sledgehammer
I'm
tonight?
don't
tired, of
believe I
giving
do.
it, I'm tired of giving it to Recon Cross, dude. Give it to somebody else.
We give it to somebody else. Well,
I think we
you know,
should wait until the next game that we're about to cover because I
I
think
would
he
I would speak super highly of UPS as a franchise and the work they've done with Recon, because I don't know how many times we've hugged, but there's also many invites I've sent where I've gotten a message doing team stuff. So he's
They play every day.
he's putting in the work.
UPS plays every day.
Yeah,
That's
UPS is one of those franchises where you go if you want to develop players. Again, this is kind of the conversation that we had a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about Nan and Jazzy Jess. But yeah, UPS is notorious for doing that. The guys in the upper tiers will definitely come down and help develop a lot of the younger players. And I think we're seeing that happen in real time. Obviously, this development is very fast, and I think that has a lot to do with Recon Cross's natural talent. I think that definitely doesn't need to be taken away from that, but I think we do need to give credit to a lot of those guys in the upper tiers who are able to develop these younger players and turn them into superstars. And I think we've also seen it happen with Wakeful 41. He's having career numbers day in and day out. He's finally coming into his own. And, you know, we talk about Huntwick, we talk about... Yeah, like we talk about Huntwick as well, somebody who wasn't necessarily with his roster last season, but came in and absolutely, you know, put the foot onto the neck of the opponent, and you can see it on the scoreboard, right? So, you know, just again,
Mick as a captain puts in the work for his guys too when it comes.
I
to
I would argue #1 IGL in all of recruit. Like this team, he says what we need to do, and we go and stomp. Like that's what this match was.
Yeah.
Like we held our own on CT, and then I mean, yeah, we only got 4 chances on T side, but he told us where to go. He told us what to do, and we went and just stomped. That's end of story. Like IGL of the season, 100%.
He has super high expectations of his team and his franchise, and if you don't execute too, you're gonna get your walking papers. So
Oh yes, and that is as expected, right? For a franchise's history and as decorated as UPS is, failure is not an option for them. And that team has really been struggling over these past couple of seasons. So I'm not really surprised to see them start cracking down on performance and actually starting to go way harder into the practice room, into the film room, and overall just making things better. So I think we're seeing the fruition of that. That combined with the fact that Next Muffin is not here for HG was most likely the leading factors into what happened tonight. So overall, pretty good. Pretty good for
First
UPS.
kill, first death.
HG gonna have to take that one into Thursday, unfortunately. But Wet.
he's out for the next 3 match days, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah. So again, really, really rough. Going for
he's getting
HG.
ready to mob, so he won't be here next season. So
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate.
yeah, I play with Muffin almost every night. So
Yeah,
Good
that's
dude.
Well, moving on. We got a
Yeah,
Anubis
we
game
got-
missed over FRG.
ay,
just-
ay, ay.
Sprite.
Can I just
Sprite
get elephant
with
in the
a
room?
Big ass game.
Yep.
1.63.
Toad is unstoppable, bro. I'm telling you, Toad is unstoppable.
Toad.
think-
Toad is who Sprite is, by the way, for those of you who
Oh,
don't
okay.
know. Yeah, Toad
I
was
think
on the
that's the
Savs
sledgehammer.
chip-winning roster a couple of seasons ago, and it was an absolute critical piece of their roster for a long time. Took a break from the game and then I think came back as Sprite. On Wet, absolutely dropping huge numbers, 16 assists. Holy crap.
It was porn in that.
Holy
server.
crap.
This was
That
the
is
battle of
more
the
than
pawns.
Dova, Adeza, and Airglow combined. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
we scrimmed them twice
Bananas.
and played them in the season. I think they were our first match. And don't count Dove out either. He's usually the off-site anchor and
Oh,
is
wow.
always fragging on his off-site holds and anchors. So if you guys think you're going to be able to, we seen Sprite, let's go over here. Dove is going to make you pay too.
I believe that.
Wait, can we,
This is
can
a
we get a
very,
round of
very good
applause?
team.
Round of applause for an Anubis game played correctly. T-sided.
True.
Yeah, for real.
True.
It's,
And
been,
Is that a
it's
10
it's
too?
happening more than it hasn't this season.
Yeah,
it's
last season it
definitely-
was not common.
10-2 is huge. And then FRG still won, still won more rounds on their T side, just too little too late. Gotta win more than 2.
So I've only scrimmed FRG, and I think we beat them. It's like 13-8 on Ancient. And the one thing I saw, just in our experience, we deathballed B like 9 rounds straight, and they couldn't stop it. Like if you come at them with just raw aggression, they melt. They just melt. Gabe comes around and tries to get a flank, and he was late to the party when we scrimmed him. But like Doxic sent me a message. He's like, "You guys are too young and too good," and I'm like, "Too young? I'm 40 years old." What are you saying?
Wait,
But,
hold on. When you talk about rushing them down, what gun's in your hands, my boy?
What do you think? What do you think guns in his hands, brother?
I want to
What
hear.
kind of question? What kind
wanna
of
hear.
question is that?
It was definitely the Tech 9. It definitely wasn't the P90.
E90 god.
It would never be the P90.
Sure, dude.
He would never do that. He would
We
never.
believe.
Hey, if anyone else in Recruit has over 40,000 stat track kills on any other guns, I'd like to know.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Rise probably got that on her
The
taser. I'm gonna be honest.
Speaking
You
of
guys-
Rise,
kills.
she was out. She was out tonight in the
She's
last
been
match
out.
day.
She's been out for a while. She's currently on vacation in Europe.
Right,
So
she's been gone,
yeah.
gone for like weeks.
Yeah.
Others
So
isn't-
Hopefully
not
she's
been
enjoying
happy
it.
with it. And the rest of the
Yeah.
squad.
As a result, ABW it seems to be tanking for the what do we call it now? They call it the Arch Manning sweepstakes. I don't know.
What?
We'll figure it out.
The door better.
I'm lost.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a tank
lost.
bowl. It was a tank bowl joke. But moving on, ACA getting beat by Sav in a 13-11 nail biter. That
Damn,
I don't think
that's
anyone
big.
was expecting.
That's a big old win.
That is a
Let's
very
go,
big win for them.
Sav.
4-4 on the season. Sav might not be out just yet. We'll see how the next few games go, but I mean, they might have me believing in him again. ACA falls to 5-3. I think most of the top teams are 5-3 at the current moment. So,
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this postseason is still wide the
I
hell
would
open.
like to
This is going to
say
be.
they don't have chasing turtles, the dropouts, and then they made it pretty close. If I don't know if he's the
Ooh.
IGL, but they had Rowdy as their sub who dropped a 1. Good performance from him.
I've bugged with Rowdy a lot. I'd be
Yeah, me
surprised
too.
if he sees recruit next season.
I mean, look at the
very-
game.
Yeah, very good player. Poop didn't drop like a 1 point anything, which is, I mean, Poop's been a big carry for them.
Mm-hmm.
Can I point one thing out real quick on this game? Look at the utility damage on Sav. Like, for an Inferno game, that's pretty low, no?
And look at the dropouts. Look at that. All of them are above 100.
Yeah, exactly. The ACA has
Yeah.
crazy
Crazy.
util.
They were
Interesting.
probably hammering him on banana.
Just gunning them down. Yeah. On
Yeah.
on the Sav side, not using much utility.
And then also, if you
Fathers
see
with the
on
4-0. First kills, first stats. That's
Yeah.
look at T side, the Sav. Look at within their 5-run streak, they've saved 4 out of the 5 times the dropouts. So they were getting run down on sites, is what I could assume. And then they were in favorable positions for retakes.
Maybe some banana rushes.
I would say banana rushes against Poop Banana.
On the cast on academics is tighter, way tighter than because they
Yeah.
got Kixel.
I think this was truly a 50-50
yeah,
game.
I think Rowdy's a sub, right?
Yes.
Yes, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if there was just a few 1v1s or even 1v2s that just didn't go in their favor.
Yeah, it's
Because
close.
13-11s are tight. When
That's
you
what
win-
it
No
comes
one
down to.
VXs. No
They've
one
gotta-
VXs for ACA.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he got 2 on.
that just means they're
Sav.
they were winning convincingly. Yeah. But
Or they
that's-
lost
that's
one
big.
VXs, yeah.
Yeah. Coming off
On
the
Cash,
last two
we
Sav
played Sav
games,
on
so-
Inferno, and Cash was arch side with the op almost every round, and his ability to move in and out of like a mid peak
Shit.
or just like an arch hold and still be effective in maintaining A control was very impressive. So I would say he probably had quite a bit to do with their CT side win.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
cat
good
keeps
game
closing
from
the
Savannah.
Yeah, for real. That's a big win. ACA's
Yeah, that
been
is a
rolling.
huge win.
They had 5 wins going into today. Like, Sav. What's the record?
And with
4-4.
So real
They're 4 and
quick,
4.
with all the new
3 and 4.
franchises, I'm scuffed on how many teams make the postseason. How many is it now?
So I believe it's 10 now. I believe there's 2 slots for play-ins, which kind of
Yeah,
act
11
like
and 12.
the wild card rounds.
Oh, me too. I'm
there's-
confused.
And then it's a
12.
10-team bracket with the first 2 seeds getting a first-round bye, I believe. Do not quote me on that.
That's how it was last season.
That's how it was last season, but you know how they love to change things on us, especially without telling anybody important, especially the talking heads who have to talk about this shit. So,
that would be
we'll
too
have to
Um,
see.
convenient.
Hold on. It's
look-
on
let's look at
the
this right now.
schedule. On the schedule spreadsheet, it has 14 teams making it in. And there's-
Okay, so that would be. Oh man, that is. So
but
how many
but on
teams are-
analytical, it's 12. It's weird. I don't know.
Analytical
yeah.
just might not be updated to the new
We will get
rules.
that information for Thursday's episode. How about that? How about Thursday we go in depth on a postseason picture? I think it's still too wide open to make that bracket right now, but I think Thursday that would be a very, very good idea to actually
just-
make
just-
happen.
Just look at the UPS on top.
I
sorry.
mean,
that's-
I mean, we can't even
it is
disagree with that.
true.
Let's be real. I mean, UPS does look like the best team
You want to
overall
on
right
the
now.
top.
But the
however,
biggest tier breaker in probably 3 seasons.
This won't be like last season. You know, the top team stays on top.
After looking at the numbers, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I still think Mills was a bigger tier breaker. Mills was a season 11 recruit who went all the way to elite tier, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and then Damon went from recruit to challenger. But they might put you in premier next season, Recon. I don't know. They might put you in premier. Just because of how you played, I mean, you outfragged Kigu. Like, let's be real. That is no small feat. You got more kills than Kigu did, so that's kind of what the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Has that happened? Recruit to Premier? Has that happened?
Yes, it happened 2 weeks before you did it. Tim, the big one, went in and. To put it lightly, he did not play as well as you did, but he still won. So recruits are currently 3-0 in Premier.
EB1's a prospect, but yeah.
Oh, he's prospect now? Okay, cool. I didn't realize that he promoted, so good for him. But yeah, so prospect and recruit are still 3-0 in Premier tier, which I think is just a hilarious statistic.
Oh, we got to show them once in a while that we can still play this video game.
Hey,
we're not nobodies. We're not nobodies down here.
We don't get the love that is well deserved because there's plenty of really good people in this tier and in these franchises.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But that brings us into everybody's favorite segment, the tier list. I don't know how we're going to do this.
To give out?
We do have awards to give out. I forgot about that. We got to list off the top 5 players.
Sledgehammer shit.
The Sledgehammer. Who is winning the weekly recruit Sledgehammer MVP award? For this match day. Let me clarify that.
Did we just say whoever?
Yeah, throw out names. Fuck it.
Sprite from what? 1.63 rating on the fucking stomp. Good shit.
Lance.
True.
And Lance. It could go either or, I believe.
And Recon's up there too.
I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to be biased,
I'm done
but
giving it to Recon Cross. Dude.
Recon with a 1.56. I mean,
we're just gonna give it to him every week. Granted, it would be out of merit, but that's no fun. Let's shed some light on the other people, you know.
And if that's the case,
tonight,
OS Lance.
Yeah.
Crazy thought. How about Boz? Right. Party animals needed a win because it doesn't say best statistical player, it says most valuable player, right? Party animals needed a win. We all knew that, right? They were possibly going to be the first team to go winless, right? And that would really suck. That would be like some 2008 Detroit Lions and 2016 Cleveland Browns type of shit. Nobody wants to be remembered as those teams, right? So Balls absolutely balled out, 24-11, 0-0 on first kill and first death, 79 cast, 1.31 impact, 68 utility damage, 1 enemy flash, 3 1vx's, right?
Game in clutch.
94 ADR. 94. I think that Boz gets the Sledgehammer tonight, but that is just my personal opinion. I would also be fine. Honestly, I don't know. Let's take a look at some of the other options. So Boz is definitely
Sprite
on the list, but I think another player that we need to possibly consider for it is Nurse. Or Valid. Honestly, Valid might be another good candidate for it. Nurse or Valid from Greenhouse, because Valid had a 1.11, 16, only player in the server with single-digit deaths, 90 ADR, 2-0 on first kill, first deaths, and 85 casts, and 89 utility damages, 8 enemies flashed, and 3 1vx's again. So I think that, it could go either way, but Nurse also had a 103 ADR, 20 and 13. With 11 assists. So, I don't know. I think it's between those 3.
Who did GRN beat?
They beat All Good.
I'd say that speaks pretty highly, just because AG's been doing what AG's been doing. So
yeah. So I think it's between Nurse, Valid, and Boz currently. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm down to give it to Boz. It's a big.
I'm down to give it to Boz. That is.
Yeah.
That's like I'm very against a great team.
That guy is amazing.
I think that that's the correct call as well. I think Boz gets the weekly recruit, most valuable player Sledgehammer award Balls, if you're listening to this right now, congratulations, young man. Hope to see more of that out of you for the rest of your career. Can't wait. But moving on to our top 5 players, according to analytical.com. Number 5, we've got Sprite, Fragger for Drip, 1.26 rating. Budweiser Cranker, Fragger for Headhunters Guild, 1.27 rating. Lance is a Fragger for Order of the Samurai at 1.30 rating. Deluge is an entry for AVI, a 1.34 rating, and then Recon Cross with a 1.39 rating as a Fragger for Upsetty Spaghetti. So congratulations to those gentlemen and lady who are in the top 5 players of this match day, according to analytical.com. So very well done, you guys.
Recon.
Congratulations.
All right, everybody.
Wait, what about AVI? Did AVI not play
They
tonight?
didn't play tonight.
They didn't play
Doubleheader,
tonight.
I
Okay, they
believe.
must have
Scary,
had
can you vouch?
believe they
Alright.
had a what you would call a bye week.
Now, everybody, I'm gonna need you all to buckle your seatbelts real quick,
Oh yes.
because now it's time for everybody's favorite section that we look forward to the most every week: our completely botched and most likely misinformed tier list.
Yes.
Now, this
of course.
this edition, since I just took over production last second without the shit, I need you to understand that this is going to be the most high quality tier list you've ever seen. High effort and definitely very prepared. So watch this
Always.
shit. Boom.
As you know, that's what the weekly recruit is known for. We can't see it. So we're just going off, we're just imagining, right?
You
The
can't
most
see it?
incredible graphic that we've
Oh.
ever seen. No, the stream can see it. Us in the call can't see it.
Oh, that
Gotta
can,
pull up the
that
stream.
can change.
There it is.
Boom.
What the heck?
Yeah.
As you can see, very, very good. Big slime in the F tier. Not a big
brother.
surprise right there. I think S, without saying, goes to UPS. I think we can go ahead and already put them up there.
Hold on a second. Let me get my shit. I want to give input.
UPS on top.
Yeah. What was the? Let's go through the matches like let's stay consistent with how we do it. That's where they're gonna end up, but
Greenhouse is 4-4 right now. Honestly, I think with them beating who was it? It was All Good. I think with them beating All Good, I think they've shown that they have the potential to be a B team, but I think they go in C at the current moment. High C, very high C.
okay.
It's like something I made in the third grade.
Have like the tier list from last week.
It should be in roles and or not.
No,
roles,
it can also it's
rankings
also
and
in recruit
predictions.
chat, right?
Yeah, rankings and predictions. If you go up there, 9/25/2024. Oh shit, that's not the last one at all.
Hold on.
Because Party Animals is in C tier.
Hold on, I could find it. I can't. There's a lot of outdated ones.
Yeah.
Wait, hold
Here,
on.
let's look
Oh
at
yeah,
the
there's the
past.
one that you posted 20 days ago.
All right. I have it pulled up. I can do the comparisons for us.
Okay, cool.
So Greenhouse was C tier last week. All Good was B tier last week.
All right, move Green. Swap them. All Good C
I'm
tier.
good with that.
Actually, I don't know. I don't think this loss defines All Good as much as.
They're still a 5-3 team.
Yeah, so I think we'd leave them in B tier, and then we'd move Greenhouse up there.
Okay.
Wait, Gil, can you put the reference like somewhere in chat?
The Gets is the only 7-win team.
Not. Fuck. I'm not sure.
Sorry,
how
I
to go about
I don't
this.
remember.
Yoshi
Yeah,
and
I just went
Rush.
to the VOD from the last one and just.
Oh,
I think
the VOD,
OS.
I
I
can
think
do that.
OS. I think OS gets S tier as well.
Agreed.
They also look pretty unstoppable. In fact, those two guys in S tier, that might be, depending on how the seeding plays out, I think that might be our ground matchup.
Okay. So, wait, really quick. We're going Greenhouse B tier,
Yep.
and we're going.
I mean, they
all
they
good
beat
B tier.
AG soundly with the sub. So
Yeah, for real. Valids that impact sub.
Mhm.
All right,
And then UPS
so-
and OS and S tier.
UPS. We didn't get to OS yet, or we didn't get to UPS yet.
whereas
I mean-
they got Recon.
We got OS. I
B
know, but
tier.
I want to do this consistently. We go match.
We
to
keep
match.
them in S because if we keep cursing them with the S
Okay.
tier, they're going to start losing.
Yeah. So Yoshi Harpies was 13-4. Ghost just sees
Yeah, I think ATL is D tier. I think ATL is D tier.
that's where they were. That's where they're gonna stay, unfortunately.
And I think ABW with the way they've been playing, I think
Drops to
ABW
C.
ABW goes C. I think ABW goes C here.
Yeah,
It's
not a lot
very
of redeeming
difficult to.
qualities out of the games recently.
Um.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
like
So the
no
Ginge is-
disrespect, but like, Party Animals was 0-7 going into this. Like,
You ain't hurting my
regardless of how that
feelings.
could
We
be.
knew.
Yeah.
We knew.
Yeah, like I think that we have to take that into account. I think they gotta go.
I mean,
Alright,
we still have a
Party
higher win
Animals.
rate percentage.
Party
than
Animals.
Tofu
Do we
or
move
Harpies.
them? Do we move them up to C for the meme?
Who?
Well, I do. I mean, I
Party,
think you're
Party
C tier
Animals.
team. If you beat a B tier team and you're D tier, I mean,
Yeah, but
you should go up one.
you've also lost the other 7 games before. This.
Yeah,
I'm not comfortable moving them up yet. I think they definitely can be.
I would point out two things. And the only reason I'm arguing against it, we have a higher win rate than Cal or ATL, like percentage-wise, and we're still one game down because we still have our HR reschedule. So I think we beat HG. I think we beat HR, and all of a sudden we're in conversations that people didn't think we were going to be a part of. So.
I also think that the PA.
You're also relying on an
Seven.
FA you haven't signed yet, right?
7
that
losses.
I've had sub twice and have more faith and confidence as an
That's dotted
individual
line
player.
already.
He's already
7.
signed. It's coming.
No, congratulations to whoever
7
that was.
losses. 7.
Stamped.
I don't
Oh.
know.
Yeah,
I think-
7 losses. 7
Stay-
losses that were
stay
within
still-
2 rounds.
we're-
Within 2 rounds. Within
He's
2
putting up an
rounds.
argument.
The majority of the time. 13-11 is our average. We had 113-9 and 113-7. Everything else was 13-11, which all of those went to 1v1s. All of which, when you look at all of the roster changes through this season, me being a first-time IGL, which I take a lot of responsibility for my lack of ability to adjust. My biggest fault, and anyone who's played against me can say this, when's the last time you saw me take a tack timeout? It's never
Well,
happened.
that's
I
just a
don't blame
problem
you, sir.
across the league. I don't see anyone taking tack timeouts, dude. It's a fucking big problem.
But like getting our mentals right, this proved to me, like even being behind the 8 ball, being down as much as we are, having all the roster changes, every person who showed up tonight showed up to win, and they proved it. And
Yeah.
I think that going through the rest of our regular season with our reschedule, with the franchises we have left, I think we're actually, whether you believe it or not, we could still see a playoff spot. So
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't believe it. I just want to see it happen first. Does that make sense?
I was about to say I need to see more. I need to see more.
our
than
strength,
just
our
one
strength of
win.
schedule, the only person who's had a worse strength of schedule is ATL and FRG when it comes to people down by us. But there's plenty of people in the middle of the field who've had a way weaker strength of schedule early season.
Yes, but
And I think that speaks volumes to being basically an all-DE team and keeping the games as tight as we have. But again, you asked me to be here and asked me to speak, so I'm going to speak to my guys.
that's fine.
I still love them, and I still think they're capable.
Yeah,
And-
100%. Like the
Um,
regular season's not over yet. It's just a matter of
This-
like, it's one.
Where does that win place you guys? Standings wise, Bear, do you recall?
16.
I
16.
They're
16.
16.
Okay.
With a
Which-
reschedule still happening,
Yeah,
so everyone
so
else has
we-
8 games.
I'm looking at the chat and help chat. So the playoff is actually 14. It's actually 14 teams. So you guys definitely have a shot. And
Especially if you went out.
yeah, especially if you win out. The fact is you beat ABW, who's currently the 14th seed. So if you win now, I think you have a good chance. And then with how the bottom line player, or sorry, the below the playoff line, as shown in the analytical, a lot of them are very, I don't know what's the right word here, inconsistent. You could, for the my best example is Nan. No hate to them. Started off 3-0, and then they've been on a downward scale. So I do think he has a chance for playoffs, but I would need to look at your schedule.
You have to win out
Oh,
to have a chance.
wow, you
To
have a pretty hard
You have to win out to guarantee. There's still chances. You gotta that bare minimum is 2.
Thugs.
But they have 5 games left.
We're gonna play.
HG,
We're gonna play HG without Next Muffin,
Yeah.
which we just saw what
Academics,
happened to them.
Yeah. So
And
that's not
We're gonna
affecting-
play HR post their meltdown, which it's not gonna get better. So we're gonna play HR.
I
Anything is
think
possible.
I think Party Animals for the time being stays in D.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
just- you have the like, but the
I get
the way
I
that
get
that
the
comes off to me
intangibles.
is like you're coming up like, it's like you definitely, like, probably aren't gonna stay here. Like if things go well with like your next few matches, but until then, it's
Yeah, it will
fucking-
get better.
It's your 1-1 team, dog. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
I feel like just like out of, just to remain
I think it's
consistent with how we're
fair.
looking at this. I think we have
Yeah,
to keep you there for now.
I agree. I agree.
But it's not like a prison sentence down there. Like it's easy.
Our win percentage with some of these other franchises like Nan, like ABW, like Ohms is in the mid 40s, and you can say what you want about that, but that to me it doesn't show lack of potential. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know.
All right. What's the next game?
So
Spend a lot of
next
time on
up,
that
we
one.
got DRG High Rollers. They're both going in D. I don't have faith in either of these
DRG,
teams, I'm gonna be
High Rollers,
honest.
both do.
Didn't High Rollers just win?
Yeah, both.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
no,
I mean, yeah, they won with 3 subs, 2 of which
Oh.
dropped a 1.2 rating. Like, they're still both D tier. Like, I
Well,
I'm
they
gonna be
were
honest.
C tier last team and they won. I don't think we can drop them below C.
Why not? When the half their franchise isn't present,
I mean,
Well,
You
yeah,
can't win
I-
and go.
yeah.
You can't
Well,
win and go down
Firehawk
this
is
year.
assigned. Firehawk will be signed.
Yeah,
I will-
Firehawk is fucking insane.
He will definitely be
Yeah,
signed.
okay.
most likely to High Rollers. This is like the 3rd or 4th time she's subbed for them. I think that all things considered, this is the most likely outcome. It's probably gonna be High Rollers that she goes to.
Yeah.
So I still think they're a D tier team. That's just me though.
I just don't know how you drop a
Yeah.
team down a tier
Yeah, no, I don't
on
think
a
we drop
win.
them.
On a
Yeah,
win.
that's-
It was a pretty convincing win too. I will be honest. 13
Sub or no sub.
Yeah, subs or no subs. The organization got the win like that.
I do think, unfortunately, DRG is a D tier team. They are, like I said, one of the many groups that I believe are inconsistent. But I will be honest, that team, if they heat up, they are very dangerous. I mean, we saw that earlier in the season when we had them at S. So, yeah.
For real. All right. Wait.
the reason they're so good right now is I believe they have the highest pistol round percentage.
Who, DRG?
HR.
Do that?
Yep, 86%. They win 86% of their pistol rounds, which anyone who's played this game long enough knows the impact of that.
Moving on, Dead beats Cal. At this point, Cal is D tier.
Cows, yeah.
Cal's D tier. Dead beats, I'm comfortable with putting in A tier.
I'm still pushing for S, bro.
Okay,
We've handled like all of our wins.
Yes.
And our only 2 losses are to like the 2 S tier teams as well.
I will
11-13.
I will be a DBS tier supporter here. They are a top 3 team. They've consistently showed that they're good. They've handled
Same record,
every team.
right?
As
We're
us? No.
No, it's OS.
They also-
yes.
they also-
We're both 6
DB
and 2, and we have more round wins. Like more
DB
round win
has-
differentials.
DB has a weaker strength of schedule than the other S tiers.
No, we have.
But
a
I also
stronger-
feel
we
like-
have a stronger strength of schedule than the other teams.
They have 51%.
They have 45 and 50. We have one of the highest.
But I
strength of
also feel
schedules.
like strength of schedule, especially in recruit, is like a really hard metric because, I mean, if that's the, I mean, look, Harpies have the strongest strength of schedule, and they're 1-7, and then like Goshi, who's a 6-2 team, has a 45%. But that it's not because their teams are going into hard. It could be just because they're not performing as well, or it could literally just be Pets, Ginge, Lax, Lance, and who's your other? I'm so sorry, I don't know the other
Well,
guy.
they can't pistol compared to the other
Ginge?
S tiers.
Yeah, I said like they have the
can't-
players.
They don't have the pistol round percentage. They're at 50,
Yeah.
so
I
they
mean,
win
that's-
50.
Yeah, but look at we're like pretty positive on both CT and Ts as the round ones, anyways. Like the last couple times, like we lost pistol, lost a save, and then like won a shit ton after it.
I think
don't think
DB's an
it's-
S tier team.
Yeah.
And
I
now that we
agree.
saw that 4 score, who's one of the more quiet players,
Yeah, he popped off.
pull off a
Today.
game like that, I think that's
Yeah, and I honestly think
Pretty
his
scary.
ratings has been lower because of like the positions that he's been playing. Like on pretty much every map, like we played all the maps, but on pretty much all of them, he's playing like a more passive role CT side. And then we're just winning, like getting kills around him. Like he hasn't had as many opportunities to put up big numbers, but today he did, and he fucking took it by the horns. I don't know.
Who are you playing next?
I would be
Maybe
fine with
Savannah.
putting them in. I would
Or
I would
no,
be fine with
play
putting them in
somebody
S tier. After hearing the
Yeah.
arguments, I can't think of a don't belong in S tier
Yeah.
along with those other two teams.
Yeah.
I think the
Like-
only argument that you could meet is that they did get beat by both of them,
Yeah.
but at
like-
the same time, they've also beaten most of the
Yeah,
A
so
and B tier
that's-
teams. So it's like,
and like we also lost like by literally a round.
yeah,
They're
it's a
right
12
between S and A.
Yeah, they're like that's
All
why
right,
I think that should.
I hold the keys. I'm putting us in S tier.
if there was an A+ tier, DB would be the only one in it. Though I will be honest.
I just want to meet Gil with my P90. That's all I want.
You
Yeah,
give them S
I'm
tier,
playing
they have to
back,
maintain
dude.
it. Keep getting
Walk into
wins,
my
keep
cross
winning
any
out.
day. I'm
What are
ready.
the next 2 teams?
All right.
We play you on the 5th. I'll see you then.
Yeah, I'll see you on the fifth, dog. Catching these hands.
I'm
Moving
gonna catch you
on.
outside. How about that? All right.
Moving on. After that, we've got UPS
Run it back.
HG 5-3. I still think that if next muffin's gonna be gone though, right?
Next
Three
match
total.
days.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
gonna be a rough stretch upcoming for them, but I do think that they are a B tier team still.
Hands
Well,
down.
remember also
HG.
subs are gonna be different now with a lot of PFAs converting. There's gonna be less
More
subs.
openings.
I
Available?
I think Pirate getting let go helps this team
I do too.
because they're gonna
Honestly-
whoever they pick, like legit like this is gonna sound like an asshole thing to say, and it is like he is anybody they pick up is gonna perform
An
better.
upgrade,
Yeah,
both
literally
character
anything
wise
is an upgrade.
and.
But they're basically a
numbers-wise.
3-player team right now.
Where are they
And-
at? Where are they at with waivers? What's their waiver position?
I don't know what
it's-
that.
They
is
gotta be
on
towards
now.
the top, I would say, but maybe not.
So we're top because we had no wins. So that's why we signed Amped. So Firehawk's gonna go next.
I
So
mean,
whatever.
the other way, yeah. They're gonna be towards the bottom of the waivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only other thing, though, because this talent has entered the pool, the other shakeup's going to be there's going to be franchises that make moves for these PFAs that then release other talent that may have a better slot to fill in another franchise. So I think Pirate being let go only could potentially strengthen that team. Pets is a great player still, consistent fragging for them. They're yes, losing your IGL, I think anyone can attest to that. You know, losing the strongest voice on your team hurts you. But even if they go on a full-on 3 losing streak, Muffin's going to come back with a chip on his shoulder, and no one wants to see that because he is, in my strongest opinion, one of the most improved recruits.
It might
If
be too
he's
late
still-
though.
I don't think so because when you look at can they make the postseason, the answer is yes.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, then it's game to game. Like, you know,
Yeah, all you got to do is make it. That's it.
So Muffin is gotten so much more consistent. I mean, he was playing, I think, at 90 to 100 ping. He's in the mountains of Idaho, and now he's using satellite internet, and it's shown this improvement. Imagine if that guy got a fiber connection. You know, like, it'd be terrifying. He's an intelligent player. I'm actually on his ESEA team, and I would really challenge even like Mick, who is definitely more in the weeds when it comes to CSC and like analyzing players and strats. I think Muffin's ability to think on the fly and counter-strat you is still extremely underrated. He has been suffering with Pirate this whole season,
Yep.
and he is express that as much to me.
Yeah, so we go B tier for HG then?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
They go to.
I mean, I don't know how you give him B in my opinion, but go ahead. 3 players actively on the roster basically for the next games.
Well,
They're gonna go
again,
down.
are we going to count it? Are we going to
Well,
count?
this isn't.
It's a
yeah,
tier
we're
list
not-
right now, right? It's
Yeah,
a tier
we're
list
not.
where
We're
they stand
not,
right now.
We're not taking into account future information. This is a snapshot
Yeah.
of where the teams are all at in reference to each other
Correct.
And they went down.
in this very moment.
Yeah,
They went down
Yeah,
from last
they're
week
still-
or last game.
They're still a 5-3 team.
They lost 13-3 tonight. Like
Like they beat.
Just
I
keep this in
understand.
mind,
I
they-
understand a lot of the intangibles, but I think B tier is a good place to put them at the moment.
You guys also have to remember they're an A. They used to be an A tier team. They are going down.
Yeah,
So-
I think it only makes sense to
You can't
put
just
them
slide
there.
them to D because they lose somebody for one match day.
Yeah.
We don't
They're
know.
a
They
fine
could. They
team.
could.
They're coming off a 5-win streak for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like it's obviously going to be one of those things. But moving on, FRG wet A tier, FRG D tier.
Agreed
Yeah,
on the first one.
I'm totally good with moving Blood up one, and that's where FRG was before they lost again. Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah,
I think that's okay.
don't think there's any arguments to be made for any alternatives.
Oh, they've got 3 of
AC,
the most consistent players.
ACA getting bested by Sav. Does that put Sav at C tier and ACA at B tier?
Well, we have to account it's a close game. I think Sab moves up. I genuinely think maybe besides Party Animals and DRG that they are stronger than the D tier teams. Like, I don't know. That's just what I think. I think they are a C tier team. I also think Party Animals would have been a C tier team, but it's just the record is just unfortunate on their behalf. But I don't think Academics moves down. I think they're fine. I assume they're on A, right?
Academics, yeah, we're on A.
I think they're still an A tier team. They had a sub, guys.
They had a sub,
Yeah.
and it looks like Poop had an off night too.
And
based on his-
isn't chasing their IGL?
Often at 15 and 15. This is just a close game. Like in general, their players performed better than the other teams. Right? Like looking at their numbers.
Mhm.
Like everybody's positive except for Didi, who is 12, 12, and 17. Like I don't think we move him down.
Yeah, I don't think we move down, but I think we give Sav their props and bring them up to the C tier.
Sav's going
Or
to play
you
DRG next.
You want to bring him up to B or C? Because
Oh,
they were C
are they?
last time.
They're. Oh, sorry. They stay at C
They're
then.
4 and
Oops, my
4,
bad.
dude. We could move them up.
Well, let's compare. HG is a 5-3 team. AG is a 5-3 team. Greenhouse is a 4-4 team.
Correct.
I don't know, man. Greenhouse just looks really strong right now. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, I mean they can
With
both
a
go
sub.
there. This
With
doesn't
a
have to
sub.
be like an exact fucking like nice distribution. Like there can be.
Well,
a balance.
DB's playing Sav next, which I think that'll be a.
a testimony.
That'll be a test for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn,
HR's
but, like,
playing GRN, and again with HR's current struggles, I think GRN's going to pull another dub. So I think trying to question pole position right now, they won what they needed to win. So GRN is showing out. Valid is a part of that franchise back in the AP days, and is back there again. No shock that she slotted in there and was able to do what she did.
I thought Sav was D tier. Yeah, I think they are a C tier team. Or you could just say, I think they're also. Well, if we're going to promote Greenhouse to B, I think Sav gets the promotion too.
So Sav goes up to B. I'm good with that. And then what were the
Is
big
everybody
teams?
else good with it?
I mean, the only map they lose is Ancient.
Yeah. 4-4.
That is actually true. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think we said that one time. It's like it's time to change up the maps, and they did.
Yep.
And they've gone to Inferno twice, and they've won twice. In Anubis.
Yeah, and as of late, their first ban is Ancient now. They did it twice again. They did it first against Party Animals and today.
Yep.
Mhm.
We thought for sure they
And
were going
then-
to take a sanction.
And then the last two teams, we keep them where they were last week, since they didn't have another chance to change anything. So AVI will stay in A tier, and Nan will stay in C tier for now.
Agreed.
Was it? Well, AVI didn't play, right?
Yeah, those two rescheduled.
I think that's fair. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's no.
I like
doubt.
this.
Yeah,
I like
that.
this
Yeah, that's
a lot.
keeping it consistent. Yeah, I think this is a good tier list. I think it looks like shit. It's just fucking insert table in a Word document, but I think
Production value, not in.
I had like 20 minutes to prepare to do this. So I think all things considered, I don't think this went too bad. You know?
As long as we all
Yeah.
agree that slime is still poop tier.
Yeah, dude, they still, dude. It's been 8 match days, not one win, bro. What the fuck?
Not
is
one.
That?
Yeah,
Not
they
a single
can't-
one.
They can't even come play at this level.
They really can't.
Yeah,
It's honestly shameful. Honestly shameful.
a little bit.
Moving on to everybody's second favorite segment. Coming at you hot, coming at you fast. We've got future matches. Match day 8.
Predictions.
AVI versus Nan. AVI.
Right now, AVI.
AVI.
Yeah, ABI.
Yeah, AVI. That's pretty self-explanatory. ABW versus ACA. ACA.
I think so too.
I agree.
That was
I
quick.
like-
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Is Rai gonna be back?
No,
Yeah, AC.
I doubt. Yeah. So
I think with Rai
OS.
back, AC is a different team.
Whew, OS versus
yeah.
FRG.
OS.
OS, yeah.
Damn, we've got some
Yes,
Keep
big
going
ones.
down the list.
Yeah. That's
Miss-
pretty self-explanatory.
Miss
Wet
Spaghettis.
versus UPS. Honestly, that's going to be a solid game, and I think UPS comes out on top.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think they can be beaten
I
right
don't
now.
think this is gonna be another stomp by UPS.
If anyone
I think
could
Rai
just
is
show up
bigger
to
than
Recon's
UPS.
house and put in a brag of ether on his mouth for like 3 rounds, they got a chance.
Maybe.
Yep.
I got backups.
Which
Don't worry
side of
about
your
it.
which?
For their money, but I
Hey,
think,
quick question: Which
production's
side
on
of your
top.
house is your fuse box on?
not
I
sure.
believe UPS and Wet have scrimmed multiple times. So
That doesn't answer the
they,
question.
they have seen each other. I'm moving on, okay?
Nan versus ATL.
You know what?
ATL.
I'm going ATL.
I'm
You
going
really
ATL.
I'm also
want
going-
I want to see an upset. I want to see ATL do well.
And it's a back-to-back, right? It's
I'm
gonna be
gonna
back-to-back
say
for
Nan.
Nan.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say
Maybe.
Nan.
I'm
I
not sure.
disagree.
It's Nan. It's
I think
Nan all day.
it's Nan. I don't.
Look, I will say, ATL wins this if Twist has a fucking like heater of a game.
And he
Twist has to wake up.
And Bun.
Twist
If
has
Bun-
to wake
Bun
up.
keeps doing what he does.
I've been trying to wake him up, man. He
Bun's
needs
been
to.
solid. Bun has been solid for his
Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah, he's been great.
Twist is the X factor on that team right
Yeah.
now, and if he has a game, you're damn right they beat Nan. But Twist hasn't been performing.
Just remember, Nancy might come off a tough loss to AVI and go straight into another game. Just be aware.
Yeah, I wouldn't activate any of them for your fantasy team. That's for sure.
ATL, I would say ATL's mentals though are probably stronger, even if they lose, because like Bun is notorious for being aloof. Like
It'll be a close game.
I really don't think a loss in a doubleheader tilts ATL.
No.
Next.
All right. We got Cow DRG.
DRG.
It would have to be DRG. I feel like that, and then I also will say, put this on the parlay sheet. This is gonna be the game where Eli wakes up again and drops a 1.3 plus. I'm gonna put that out there right now. He will wake up this game.
So he will. I'm going to be betting under on that because that's insane. I do think DRG takes this one though.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Bet
DB
the over.
Sav.
Yeah, Sav versus DB. I think DB wins.
I do think it's DB, but I do think it will be close. Sav is hot right now. And
I'd say 13-11 Sav.
13-11 Sav.
I think I think we'll remove DB from S tier if you lose this. I think that's fair.
Yes.
13-10 DB.
I will say
Yeah. I don't. This is not going to be a stomp.
I will say
13-10.
But
I think a 16-12 for DB. I think it's a
Ooh.
good overtime.
If you're
That
listening,
would be exciting.
just kill Gil with an SMG like 3 rounds straight, and you've got it.
No.
You've got it.
That's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works.
That's
What do
not
you
how it
mean?
works.
Getting that man's
Exactly
head.
how it works.
It's not. Oh, here's the thing. Like, it doesn't get in my head. Like
I've never
throws
heard
me
it.
off of my game. But it's just
The only
like,
person
what the
who
fuck
cries
is going
more
on?
about my P90 more than you is Scary. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I agree with him on. All right, but anyways, DB and a projected to win in a close game is what the consensus feels like.
The general consensus is moving on. High
Next
Rollers
one will be close.
Greenhouse. Greenhouse.
Yeah.
So
The
is
weather's looking
Firehawk
fine.
signed?
No.
Is Firehawk signed at this point? We don't know.
Transactions, No.
Not at the
Okay.
moment.
Nothing has
I
gone
think
through
it said that
transaction.
they were. I think on
Amp,
transactions they were signed to a
Amp will be
temporary
Amp will be signed by us, and we're first pick. I know that for a fact, but I
Great
don't know
pickup on
anything
your
above
part.
that. Oh, dude. Amp
Solid.
is a no-brainer.
Yeah. But back onto topic, I do think it'll be Greenhouse.
I think GRN too.
It'll be. I think it will. It won't be a stomp, but it'll be on the borderline of stomp. So like a third. I think. I don't think. I think anything lower than the 13-7 is a stomp.
Nurse is a
So-
fragger, and they went with that Orc Trooper, and they
I think it's
dominate.
13 up. I think it'll be 13-8 in favor of Greenhouse.
Because Orc Trooper is great, and as much as he catches a lot of hate, their team captain has been a absolute pillar of this tier and does a lot of work with his guys. So I think Jiren comes in clutch.
Yeah, I don't see why not. All right, next we got HG versus the Pachinga Pandas. PA.
Catching these hands, no muffin.
I think everyone knows where I stand on this one. Pandas. Come on. Let's see it.
No, HG.
Let's party. Let's fucking party. Is all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
Amp
Real-
will be there.
HG is definitely favored going into this, but I'm giving it to PA, dude.
I vote HG.
We
I'm
got to
not
see
convinced.
what the roster looks like for them. Like, they could fall apart here.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what their roster looks like.
PA could also
I
make
love
a big
I
pickup.
love my boy Muffin's franchise. Like his guys are great. I've pugged with them. We've had a lot of fun. But picking up Amp's gonna drop 25 or better, and it's gonna be a fucking swan
What up,
song.
Teddy?
Dude, if you can have fucking Bose do that again, fucking, I think you can do it. And the rest of your
Dude,
team, just, you know. You
Bosses,
said it earlier, dude. Everybody's got their moments, and, you know.
dude, Boss
They're
has
welcome
got
to play.
ice water in his veins, and he is going to clutch 3 to 5 rounds.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Fuck it, I'm a
will-
believer now. I'm going PA.
I am not quite convinced. I think HG do still take this one.
Maybe.
Like I said, it just
No
depends on who they
maybe
pick up as a
about
sub.
it.
We'll
It
call
depends
it
on who
a
they pick
toss-up
up.
and move on to the last game.
Yeah, all good AVI. I win this.
Okay,
I
this
think
one's
I would-
actually the one that's kind of.
I think it's better. I think it's
These
better
both
for the
teams have been
timeline.
trending downward.
I think AVI does it because Scary is tired of losing and feeling like he's being.
That might make their chances worse.
No,
Having
no.
Having played on a team with Scary, that might not be a good thing.
I think his energy is right. I think Synth is going to do Synth things and be the boisterous individual we all know him capable of being. Scary is going to frag out and remove all question because there's this fraud watch on him. I think AVI wins this.
Oh,
I think those are all of the reasons that they lose. To be honest with you, I think those are all of the reasons that they lose. I think it's going to be a lot of Scary feeling like a lot of the pressure is going to be on him, and I don't necessarily think that he is going to be able to perform in the way that his team is going to need him to perform to beat a team like all good. I haven't seen anything from AV.
Deluge has been the difference maker for AV.
Deluge has
Yes,
been the difference
Deluge is a
maker. He
fragger.
is absolutely insane, but CS is not a one-man game.
Exactly.
Right? It's like, you know, it's I don't know. For me personally, I think All Good is going to take this because I think they are the more complete team at the current moment.
And I'll say this, and I'll give you this. If AG starts T-sided, there's a chance AG wins. If they are foolish enough to... is it a home or away game? That would really be the metric for me. Because AG's win percentage is fully T-sided. They are great at doing T-sided stuff. They are terrible at CT. If they give the opportunity for AVI to outsmart them, they will lose.
I don't know. I feel like, well, I could see your point on if they should start T side, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I don't know if we started predictions or not, but I believe in the guys at AG, but I'm going AVI. I think AVI is just a better team right now.
All right.
And that's it. That's everything.
That's it.
Y'all got anything to say before we take this one off the air?
EA's coming for you. Watch for that dark horse.
UPS on top.
Did you go next?
All right. Well, that is.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
Thank you for coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being here. Blame Bun for the lack of quality in the stream tonight. Everyone go into the Weekly Recruit Discord server.
I hope
ping
it was
at
still
Bun.
watchable. I tried my best.
I need you guys to ping Bun and then say "fuck you, Bun." That's what needs to happen in general. I'll start things off. I'll be the first person to say it, right?
No,
and then
I'm
once
not
we
doing it.
all,
Bun's always rolling through, and we still
all
got a
right,
show.
and then now that that's done, I'm gonna need everybody to follow up on that chain. After that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for being here, joining us on this wonderful Tuesday night. We will see you all in a couple of days after Thursday Night Counter-Strike.
Yep, we got 3 match days left. Now it's time to get down to the nitty gritty. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a great night, and we'll see you on
Have a
Thursday.
good night.
you.
GG.